Now today we will do adenosine diphosphate, its structure and role in biochemical processes. Now ADP, the structure is shown in the figure. ADP consists of three important structural components. The sugar backbone attached to the adenine group, here it can be seen, and two phosphate bonds bonded to that of 5 carbon atom of the ribose. The diphosphate group of ADP is attached to the 5th carbon atom of the ribose, and the diphosphate group of ADP is attached to the 5th carbon of the sugar backbone, while the adenosine attaches to the 1st carbon atom. You can see in the figure. This is the comparative structure of adenosine monophosphate and adenosine diphosphate. So here we can see that monophosphate group is present in adenosine monophosphate, and one more addition of phosphate group to adenosine monophosphate becomes adenosine diphosphate or ADP. The chemical formula is given over here. Its molar mass is given. The structural formula is given over here, or you can see in this diagram. The ADP can be converted to adenosine triphosphate or ATP and adenosine monophosphate. Therefore, it is an intermediate compound between ATP and AMP. The ATP contains one more phosphate group than does ADP. AMP contains one fewer phosphate group. The energy transfer used by all the living is a result of dephosphorylation of ATP by enzyme known as ATPases. The cleavage of the phosphate group from ATP results in the coupling of the energy to metabolic reaction and a byproduct of ADP. ATP is continuously reformed from the lower energy and species ADP and AMP. The biosynthesis of ATP is achieved throughout the processes such as substrate level phosphorylation, oxidative phosphorylation, and photophosphorylation, all of which facilitate the addition of the phosphate group. That is, you can say that phosphorylation results in the addition of ADP. या phosphorylation वो प्रक्रिया है या रिएक्शन है जिसमें एक फॉस्फेट ग्रुप का एडिशन AMP या ADP में होता है, जिससे वो AMP ADP में कन्वर्ट होती है और ADP ATP के अंदर कन्वर्ट हो जाता है. Now bioenergetics. ADP cycling supplies the energy needed to do work in the biological system. The thermodynamic process of transferring energy from one source to another. There are two types of energy: potential energy and kinetic energy. Potential energy can be thought of as a stored energy or usable energy which is available to do work. जिसे हम कह सकते हैं जो स्थितिज ऊर्जा है वो ADP के अंदर स्टोर्ड होती है और जिसको हम काम करने के लिए यूज़ में लाते हैं या वही काम में आती है. Kinetic energy is the energy of an object as a result of its motion. The significance of ATP is in its ability to store potential energy within the phosphate bond. The energy stored between these bonds can then be transferred to do work. ये हम कह सकते हैं कि ATP के अंदर 3 फॉस्फेट बॉन्ड्स होते हैं. जो 2 फॉस्फेट बॉन्ड्स होते हैं वो बहुत ज़्यादा वीक होते हैं. इनके अंदर ATP के अंदर ऊर्जा एक स्थितिज ऊर्जा के रूप में स्टोर्ड होती है, और जब भी ऊर्जा चाहिए होती है यही फॉस्फेट बॉन्ड टूटता है और एनर्जी प्रोवाइड करता है. और ये जो पूरी प्रक्रिया होती है वो हाइड्रोलिसिस के द्वारा होती है. The energy stored between these bonds can be transferred to do work. For example, the transfer of energy from ATP to protein myosin causes a conformational change when connecting to actin during muscular contraction. अब ये जो पूरी प्रोसेस है इस प्रक्रिया के द्वारा है, एटीपी और एडीपी। अब यहाँ पे हम देखते हैं कि एटीपी के अंदर हाइड्रोलिसिस के द्वारा एनर्जी रिलीज आउट होती है, एक फॉस्फेट बॉन्ड टूटता है और ये एडीपी में कन्वर्ट होता है। एडीपी के अंदर, क्योंकि ये बहुत ही ज़्यादा अनस्टेबल होता है, ये एनर्जी, एक फॉस्फेट ग्रुप जब इसमें ऐड होता है बाय फॉस्फोराइलेशन, एनर्जी यूज्ड अप होती है और वापस से पुनः एटीपी का निर्माण होता है। इट टेक्स मल्टीपल रिएक्शंस between myosin and its multiple reaction between myosin and actin, it is effectively produced one muscular contraction and therefore कहने का मतलब है कि एक मस्कुलर कॉन्ट्रैक्शन के अंदर बहुत सारे मल्टीपल रिएक्शंस होते हैं और बहुत सारी ऊर्जा प्रदान करते हैं। The availability of large amounts of ATP is required to produce in each muscular contraction. For this reason, biological processes have evolved to produce efficient ways to replenish the potential energy of ATP from ADP. Breaking one of the ATP's phosphorus bond generates approximately 30.5 kilojoules per mole of ATP or 7.3 kilocalories. ADP can be converted or powered back to ATP through the process of releasing the chemical energy available in foods in humans. This is constantly performed via aerobic respiration in the mitochondria. Plants use photosynthetic pathways to convert the stored energy from sunlight, also conversion of ADP to ATP. Animals use the energy released in the breakdown of glucose and other molecules to convert ADP to ATP, which can be used to fuel necessary growth and cell maintenance. अब ये जो ऊर्जा होती है किसी भी सेल के मेंटेनेंस और इसके किसी भी सेल के फ्यूल के रूप में काम आती है। ऑक्सीडेटिव फॉस्फोराइलेशन, oxidative phosphorylation produces 26 of equivalents of ATP generated in the cellular respiration by transferring electrons from NADH or FADH to oxygen through electron carriers. The energy released when the electrons are passed from higher energy to that of lower energy. Oxygen is required to phosphorylate ADP and once gain and regenerate ATP. This is the energy coupling and phosphorylation of ADP to ATP that gives electron transport chain. This gives the name oxidative phosphorylation. This can be seen in this diagram. ADP converts into ATP in presence of when ATP synthesis takes place, and it is common for both animals and plants. This is oxidative phosphorylation. Now tomorrow we will study the structure of ATP and its role, because I am explaining these structures because in hydrolysis processes and phosphorylation processes to be discussed in detail according to the syllabus will include the structures, and this structure will not be explained again and again. So please revise this and read it properly. Thank you.